Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Right. All right. Good morning, guys. Okay. So in the last class, just we completed the preprocessor and its related content we have discussed it there. Now, today onwards, now we are going to understand that another difference between Java and others. That other difference is like what there. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. What exactly the meaning of this particular content here? Okay, right, sir. So before understanding C and C++ are platform dependent, Java is a platform independent. Before that, first we have to understand what is platform dependent programming language and what is platform independent programming language. First, we need to understand this point. After that, we are going to discuss about why C and C++ are platform dependent and why Java is a platform independent programming language. But first of all, what is platform dependent and what is platform independent? These points here we have to understand. All right, sir. Now, first of all, understand the point here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called a platform dependent programming language. Please understand the definition here, what I am doing there. For example, if you write any program, we have to compile the program and we have to execute the program. Two things here we have to do. But here the question is compilation and execution both if we perform on the same operating system, not on two different operating systems. Not possible to do compilation is on one operating system, execution is on another operating system. If it is not going on, if it is not possible, if it is possible to perform both compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called a platform dependent programming language. Examples for platform dependent programming languages are C and C++. How C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? What is there inside this C and C++? Right. If you observe this point here, answer is very clear. Try to recognize this point here. I want to show in a diagram. Try to understand it clearly. For example, I want to take a C program. This is a C program. .c. That file name is what there? .c. We need to compile this C program. Now here, this is compilation. Compilation. When we compile C program, automatically what files here we are able to get? No, .exe files. Maybe different files are available in a C, no, .ai file, .obj file, and finally .exe file. Here we are getting .exe file. All right, sir. Whenever we are getting .exe file, we have to execute that. For execution purpose here, we are going to use, this is like what their execution. Now tell me, who is executing our C program? C engine. Similarly, who is executing C++ program? C++ engine. Who is executing Python program? Python engine. That Python engine is called as what? PVM, Python Virtual Machine. Similarly, who is executing Java program? Java engine. The Java engine is also called as what? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay. Right. So now here we have taken what there? C engine. Now, after execution of this program, there we are able to get some output. Here we are able to get some output. That's it. This is like what I'm telling there, compilation. C program I've written, compilation, .exe file, giving the .exe file for the execution. There we are getting output. Now, to perform compilation, we need an operating system. To execute our program, again, we need what there? An operating system, definitely. All right. For compilation purpose, I want to use Windows operating system. For compilation purpose, I want to use what there? Windows operating system. Understand it now. For execution purpose, as per the definition, I must use the same Windows operating system. As C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, I must provide the same operating system for compilation and for what their execution. Understand it clearly. All right, but for our discussion, for understanding how C and C++ are platform dependent, for our discussion, next 5 minutes of time, assume I'm using some other operating system, say for example Linux. Understand my point clearly? Fun. Observe carefully. Now this execution is going on which operating system? Linux operating system. C engine is available on which operating system? Linux operating system. Now C engine is able to understand, it is able to execute only Linux representations. Linux representations. It able to execute only what the Linux representations. It is able to execute only Linux representations. Why? Because C engine is available on which operating system now? Linux operating system. Okay, now let's move on to the point now. When we compile our C program on Windows operating system, here what file here we are getting there? .exe file here we are getting. This is something like what there? .exe file. Okay. Then what is the nature of this .exe file actually? What is this .exe file? What is its behavior? If you observe this, I'm able to give some clarity. Try to understand it now. .exe file contains directly executable code. That's it. Now tell me, .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system representations and it is having local operating system representations like Windows representations. Please remember one fundamental point. Operating system to operating system, data representations and conventions are varied. Don't expect the same conventions and same sorry. Don't expect the same rules and regulations and same conventions and same data representation in all the operating systems. From one operating system to another operating system, that internal data representations are varied. Simple example I'm telling them. For integer in Windows operating system in C programming language, 2 bytes of memory. When it comes to Linux, it may be 4 bytes of memory. When it comes to Unix, it may be maybe 3 bytes of 4 bytes of memory. When it comes to Solar, it may be some other memory allocation. What's the meaning of it now? That memory allocation is going to be varied from one operating system to another operating system or not. Not only that, internal data representation is also be varied from one operating system to another operating system. So rules and regulations, data representation, all conventions are varied from one operating system to another operating system. Remember this point clearly. All right, now here finally, this .exe file has which representations? Now tell me. This .exe file has Windows representations. This .exe file has what representations there? No, Windows representations. Observe carefully. Okay. Now understand it clearly. We got Windows represented .exe file. We are giving this Windows represented .exe file to the C engine, which is on Linux. Is it possible for C engine to execute Windows representations on Linux? No. Is it possible for C engine to execute Windows representations on Linux operating system? C engine is able to understand what representations? No, Linux representations. As it was installed on the top of Linux operating system, it is able to understand only Linux representations. But here we provided what representations? Windows representations. Now, is it possible for C engine to execute these Windows representations on Linux operating system? Not possible here. So we are not going to get any output. In this scenario, we are unable to get output. So program is not going to be executed. But if we want to execute our program here, what we have to do there? We don't have any alternative in the case of C programming language. There we have only one thing. That is what? At runtime also, we have to use the same Windows operating system. At runtime also, we have to use what there? The same Windows operating system. Observe carefully. So compilation, Windows operating system, execution, Windows operating system. It means that, what's the meaning of it now? If we provide Windows operating system at runtime, now C engine is on the top of the Windows. So C engine is able to understand what it is able to execute, what representations now. Previously Windows, now it is previously Linux, now it is like what their Windows representations. Now understand the compatibility. Runtime environment or runtime or execution time is totally depending on the operating system, what we have used for compilation or not. That means at runtime, we have to provide an operating system. It must be used for compilation. That is, for compilation and for execution, we have to use the same operating system. Because of this reason, we can conclude that C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. Because of these reasons, here we can conclude that C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. Right. Now let me take this content here. I want to give might be some two statements also about this. Try to understand it clearly. If we compile a C program in Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate a .exe file. Okay. .exe file. It contains directly executable code. Contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system or representations, and it is having what the local operating system representations, that is Windows representations. Good. That's what their Windows representations. Now here we have to understand the point clearly, what I'm telling to you. In the above context, to execute Windows represented .exe file, we must use the same. We must use the same. We must use the same Windows operating system for execution. In the above context, to execute Windows represented.exe file, we must provide the same Windows operating system for execution. Why? Because Windows represented.exe file will not be executed in other operating systems. In other operating systems like Linux, Understand it clearly. Right, sir. Now this is exactly the point here what I'm telling you about this platform dependent programming language. Now here I'm able to give one conclusion here. What is the conclusion here? In the above context, what is the point here I'm telling there? Execution time, operating system, execution time, or maybe execution time operating system is dependent on the operating system which we have used, which we are using, or which we have used for a compilation, which you are used for the compilation. That's it. So C and C++ both are so C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Platform dependent programming languages. That's it. Good. Now this is exactly the point here we can understand. In the above context, execution time operating system is dependent on the operating system which has been used for the compilation. So C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Right. So now this is okay, clear. Now this is about like what there, how C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. But our required point is what there? It's okay. This is up to C and C++ only. But we have to understand how Java is a platform independent programming language. That is our required point actually. That C and C++ is okay. Comparison purpose I'm discussing now. But our required content is what there? Java is a platform independent programming language. How Java is platform independent programming language, that we have to understand clearly. Right, sir. Now, all of you understand this clearly. Observe carefully. First of all, what is platform independent programming language? Now tell me, what is platform dependent programming language? What we understood there? Now tell me. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, not on two different operating systems, then that programming language is platform dependent programming language. But what about this platform independent programming language? Understand this clearly. I'm giving the definition by having modifications on the same. Try to understand it clearly. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation on one operating system and execution on another operating system, execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called as platform independent programming language. That programming language is what? Their platform independent programming language. Quite opposite. Platform dependence is what? Same operating system for compilation and execution. Platform independent nature is what? Their different operating systems. Now, compilation is on one operating system, execution is on what? There another operating system. Then that programming language is what? Platform independent programming language. Everybody understand my point clearly? What I'm telling you now? Okay, good. But examples are what? Number of examples are available. Java, Python, so many, even .NET also. Okay, like this, so many things are available. All these are like what? Their platform independent programming languages. Okay, sir, good. Now these are like what? Their platform independent programming languages that we understood. It's okay, nice. Next one after that, all of you observe carefully. Another thing is like what? There How Java is a platform independent programming language. How Java is a platform independent programming language. We have to understand this point. Let's put more concentration here. Understand the point here, what I'm telling to you. So this is important. Then try to put more concentration about this. I'm going to show some diagrammatic view. Now try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. For example, I want to take a Java file. This is like what I'm telling to you, .java. The file name is what there? File name .java. Okay. Right, sir. Next one is after this .java. Next one is we have to perform compilation. This is like what I'm telling to you, compilation. When we compile Java file, we know already what files here we are able to get. Come on, guys. What files here we are able to get? In the case of C and C++, what files we got? In C and C++, there is a confusion, little bit confusion. What is that confusion there? Maybe .exe, .obj, .ai, or maybe some different files. There's a bit confusion. But in the case of Java, no confusion. It's a very clear information. Before compilation, .java. After compilation, .class. That's it. No other files are available. When we compile Java file, automatically we are able to get what there? .class files. Clear. Now understand it now. Now here we are able to get like what there? .class file. Here we are getting. Good. Inside this .class file, some code is there. I will discuss about that code. Don't worry. One special type of code is available. Whenever we are getting .class file, as per the definition of the platform independent, we can compile Java program on one operating system. We can execute the same Java program in different operating systems. That means in multiple operating systems. Now here, I want to take multiple cases here. Different operating systems cases here I want to take. Now this is like what I'm telling to you. Execution. This is like what I'm telling there. Execution. Here we are able to get outputs. There we are getting like this. Now here we are able to get outputs. Of course, for compilation here we are going to use one operating system, and for execution purpose also here we are going to use what there? One operating system. Now here I want to provide. Now this is like what there? Execution. Now here we are able to get like what there? Output. Like this, how many here we are going to take? Right. Now this is the second time. Now this is like what the third one. Now this is like what I'm telling there, fourth time. That's it. Now I want to provide some operating systems. For compilation, I have to provide Windows operating system. And for execution, one operating system is what there? Linux. And another time is like what there? Solaris. And at some other time, here I'm going to use what there? Mac. And at some other time, I'm going to use the same Windows operating system. Yes, of course. But still it is a platform independent programming language. Even though we have used Windows operating system for both compilation and execution, but still it is what their platform independent programming language only. Okay, now let's analyze the points here. All of you observe carefully. .java file here we have taken. When we compile .java file on Windows operating system, what we are getting here? .class file here we are getting. What we are getting here? .class file here we are getting. What is this dot class file actually? What exactly the meaning of dot class file? Listen, all of you listen carefully. In the future, I may ask a question to you. What is the difference between .exe and a dot class? If you want to understand what is .exe, there we can read it. What is a .exe file? .exe file contains directly executable code. Remember, directly executable code. And it has which operating system representations? Local operating system representations. We have used Windows there for compilation. It has the Windows representations. Clear? Now come for our dot class file now. Dot class files contains bytecode. .exe file contains directly executable code, but dot class file contains what there? Bytecode. What is this bytecode actually? It is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. Guys, it is not directly executable code. Okay, it is not directly executable code. Then what is this actually? It is an intermediate code. It is not source code. At the same time, it is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. Okay, still, and it doesn't have any operating system representations, including Windows. Why I'm stressing on Windows now? We have used Windows operating system for compilation. Come again. What is the point I said to you? Now tell me. Dot class files contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it does not have any operating system representations. It doesn't have any operating system representations, including what their Windows representations. It's totally a neutral code, a neutral bytecode. It is not having any operating system representations and all the content. I'll forget my point or not. But here, one point here I'm telling to you, recognize this. Now execution, first execution is going on which operating system? Linux operating system. Am I right or not? So this execution required what representations? No, Linux representations required. Yes, sir. I'll forget my point or not. This execution required what representations can? No, Linux representations are required. Now second time we are executing on which operating system? Solaris operating system. So required what representations can? No, Solaris representations are required. Solaris representations are required. Observe carefully. Now to execute our application on Mac operating system, that execution engine required which representations? No, Mac representations. Right, sir? What representations it is required there? Mac representations. Understand it clearly. Next one is, if you want to execute the program on Windows operating system, here what is required here? No, the same Windows representations here we required. Windows representations are required. That almost all the same. This problem is almost all similar to the C programming language problem or not? But only the difference is what? .exe file is confirmed that local operating system representations, Windows representations. Possible to execute under only Windows operating system, not possible to execute any other operating system. But in the case of Java, what is going on now? Dot class file we are getting. It is not a directly executable code. It's a byte code. It's a neutral code, an intermediate code, not a source code, not a native code. Got my point or not? But still, what is the problem here? If you want to execute any program on Linux now, that program, that bytecode must have Linux representations. If you want to execute the bytecode on Solaris now, that bytecode must have which representations here now? Solaris representations. If you want to execute the bytecode under Mac now, that bytecode must have which representations there now? Mac representations. If you want to execute the bytecode on Windows now, then that bytecode must have what there? Windows representations. But here we are providing neutral representations. Sir, got my point or not? Here we are providing what representations? No, neutral bytecodes. It's like what there? What I'm telling there? Neutral bytecodes. It doesn't have any of the operating system representations. It is a neutral bytecode. Now tell me, if I give this neutral bytecode to the Linux operating system, is it possible for the execution engine to execute our neutral bytecode on Linux operating system? Is it possible for the execution engine on Linux now? Is it possible to execute that neutral bytecode on Linux operating system? Not possible. Execution required what representations? Linux representation. But we are providing what? Neutral bytecode. It doesn't have any operating system. It doesn't have any operating system representations. But execution required what representations? Linux representations. So here not possible to execute it. If I provide this neutral bytecode to the Solaris operating system, that execution engine is required what representations? Solaris. But we provided what representations? No, neutral representations. Not possible to execute our program. If we provide this neutral bytecode to the Mac operating system, is unable to execute our program. Why? Because it required what? Mac representations. If we provide neutral bytecode on Windows now, then still Windows is also be not executing our program. Why? Because it is neutral bytecode. But in Windows operating system, if we want to execute, it required what? Windows representations we required. Almost the same as the C programming language problem we are getting or not? Got it or not? Exactly in this particular situation. Exactly in this particular junction, C programming language has not provided any solution, but Java has provided a solution. In this particular location, C programming language left it. What they have done there? Use same operating system for compilation and execution. Finish. That one is a possibility. That C has declared that. But Java has given a flexibility. Java has provided some solution for it. What solution that Java has provided? All of you observe carefully. Think a minute about it. This is neutral bytecode, but we require the bytecode under the local operating system representations. If it is possible to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations, then our problem will be solved. If it is possible to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations, then our problem will be solved. Got my point or not? Exactly that. Sun Microsystems has done the same thing. Sun Microsystems has done the same thing to make Java as a platform independent programming language. What Sun Microsystems has done, what exactly the solution it has given for us now, Sun Microsystems has provided a set of converters. Sun Microsystems has provided what there? A set of converters. Where that set of converters are provided here, no, right? Exactly in this location, that converters are provided. Converters are translators, whatever it may be, right? So now that converters are provided here, exactly in this location. Now understand it clearly. What is the job of these converters actually? What exactly the job of these converters now? All right, so I'll give clarity. Now try to understand it clearly. This is one converter. This is another converter. Now this is like what there? Another converter. Now what is the job of this first converter now? It is able to convert our bytecode from neutral nature to Linux representations. Then execution engine will execute that. It is able to generate some output. What is the job of this converter? It is able to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the Solaris operating systems. It is able to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the Solaris operating system representations. Then execution engine will execute that Solaris representations. It is able to provide some output. If we provide this neutral bytecode to this converter, it is able to convert the bytecode from neutral nature to the MAC representations. MAC representations are executed by the execution engine and it is able to generate some output. Next one is this converter is able to convert that neutral bytecode into the Windows operating system. Now execution engine is on Windows operating system, is able to execute that Windows representations and providing that output. Right or not? Now these converters are giving help for the Java program to execute on multiple operating systems or not? These converters are required or not? Right, so now this is what exactly the solution that Sun Microsystems has provided. But here the question is, how Sun Microsystems has provided these converters? Where Sun Microsystems have provided these converters? If you observe this point, answer is very clear. Sun Microsystems has provided this conversion mechanism and execution mechanism in a single device. Everybody understand this clearly? Sun Microsystems has provided this conversion mechanism and execution. Both the contents are provided, both are included in a single device. The name of that single device is what? JVM. The name of that single device is like what there? JVM. All right, so now JVM, understand it clearly. Next one is like what there? JVM. Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Straightly, I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. What exactly the roles and responsibilities of the JVM in Java? Two responsibilities are available for JVM. What are the two responsibilities for JVM? Come on, what are the two responsibilities here? First one is like what there? Conversion, converting bytecode from neutral nature to the local operating system representations. Remember, the local operating system representation of the bytecode is called as native code. Is it? Local operating system represented bytecode is called as what there? Native code. Get my point or not? So now get this is like what code here? No, native code. And native code is nothing but what there? Bytecode only. But it is as per what their local operating system represented bytecode. The local operating system represented bytecode is what their native code. If we give this native code to the execution engine, it will execute that native code and is able to generate what their outputs. Sir, all of you are following or not? Tell me, what are the two responsibilities of the JVM? Responsibility one, converting bytecode to the native code. What is native code? Local operating system represented bytecode. That's what their native code. Second responsibility is what they're executing the native code. Executing the native code. And finally, we are getting outputs. Come again, I'm not getting clarity. What are the two responsibilities of JVM? One is what they're converting program from bytecode to native code. Second one is what they're executing native code. What is native code here? Local operating system represented bytecode. Got or not? That's the meaning of native code. All right, it's okay. Diagram is okay. Points are okay. Almost all we completed our explanation. Finally, I'm asking one question to you. One information. First of all, one simple point. Java is a platform independent programming language is because of JVMs. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs. If no JVM, no chances of specifying what Java is a platform independent programming language. The JVM is doing the mimic. The JVM has the logic. JVM has the logic of this platform independent programming language. Without JVM, we cannot say Java is a platform independent programming language. So Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. Now I'm asking one question. Now try to answer for it. All of you observe carefully. In this total diagram, how many times we compiled our program? How many times we compiled our program? Only one time. The compilation I have done only one time. On which operating system? On which operating system? Windows operating system. Fine. How many times we have executed this program in this diagram? 4 times we have executed this program. Am I right or not? Executions are 4 times. Compilation is only one time. That means write one time, run anywhere. Write once, run anywhere. One time write the program, execute any number of times in any platform. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Tell me, write once, run anywhere. In a simple, we can say that W-O-R-A, Wara. Write once, run anywhere. W-O-R-A. This is a slogan for Java. I get my point or not? This is a slogan for Java. Write once, run anywhere. What is the meaning of it? No. Write once means that compile one time. Write once in the sense of writing the program, compile one time. Execute any number of times in anywhere. In any operating system, we can run our application. This is a slogan for Java. Okay, remember that one also. Now come for the next point. What is the next point here? I'm telling to you. All of you observe carefully. One time we are compiling our program. 4 times we are executing our program. Same program. Now tell me, in all 4 times execution of our program, how many JVMs here we have used? Is that 4 JVMs or only 1 JVM? Just I'm asking one question there. Here 4 times we are executing the program. Is that 4 JVMs or 1 JVM? Come on. 4 JVMs or 1 JVM? 1 JVM, right? Right there. Actual answer is what there? 4 JVMs. Not 1 JVM, 4 JVMs. Yeah, recognize this. I have a solution for it. I have a clear cut point. One time only we compiled it, but 4 times we executed that program. For all 4 times, we are using individual JVMs, not a single JVM. Why? Because, what is the reason for it? Java is a platform independent programming language. Because of JVMs only, no doubt for that. But JVM is platform dependent. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is what? Platform dependent. First JVM is Linux based JVM. Second JVM is a Solaris based JVM. Third JVM is a Mac based JVM. Fourth one is a Windows based JVM. Because of that reason only, that JVM is converting neutral bytecode into the respective local operating system representations. Understand my point here? If the JVM is not related to Linux now, how it is possible for that JVM to convert bytecode into the local operating system represented bytecode? That is Linux representations. Understand my point here? So because of that reason, Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is what? Platform dependent. Platform dependent. For our kind information, not only JVM, not only JVM, the complete Java software, the complete Java software is a platform dependent. Then what is Java software actually? Java software is the collection of the tools. Java compiler, Java profiler, Java documentator, Java signer. Next one is a JVM. All this collection is nothing but Java software. Every tool inside the Java software are platform dependent. Understand my point here? Every tool inside the Java software are platform dependent, but Java programming language is what? Platform independent. Whatever the program I have written, that is independent of the operating system. But Java software is there now to run my program, to compile my program. I require Java software or not? That Java software is what? Platform dependent. Everybody, put more concentration here. They are the important points now. We have to digest these points. Most of the people, 99% of the people in outside, what they are thinking, interviewer will ask first question, what is Java? Is it a platform dependent or platform independent? Officially, everybody they are saying that Java is a platform independent programming language. That's well and good. If interviewer is asking why Java is platform independent, half of the people are not giving answer. But we have to give this entire explanation. After that, interview will ask that Java is a platform independent programming language only. Okay, I agree that. But what is JVM? JVM is platform dependent or platform independent? Here exactly 99% of the people are saying that JVM is a part of the Java. Java is already platform independent. How can you say it's a platform dependent? No, it's a platform independent only. That is a wrong answer. JVM is what? Platform dependent. Not only JVM. Java compiler is also be platform dependent. Java profiler is also be platform dependent. Java documentator is also be platform dependent. All Java tools are what? Platform dependent. The total Java software is a platform dependent. I'll give one live proof for it. Try to understand it now. As a proof, I'm going to provide that proof to you. Try to observe carefully. Simple. I want to download Java software, Java 8 download, for example. Guys, all of you observe carefully. I want to download Java 8. Any version. It's not the matter of version here. Anything. Now observe carefully. If it is platform dependent, this is the Java software for Linux. This is a Java software for Linux flavors, different flavors. This is a Java software for what there Mac. This is a Java software for what there Spark something else, Solaris. Okay, Solaris flavors. These are the Java softwares for what Windows. But my question is very simple. If it is platform independent, why they are providing these many Java softwares with respect to the operating systems? No? If Java software is a platform independent, why these many softwares are provided as per this Windows operating system, as per these operating systems? No, then one link is sufficient for all the operating systems or not? One Java software is sufficient for all the operating systems or not? Answer my point, Ken. But why they are giving these many different Java versions as per different operating systems? No, that means Java software's downloadable links are provided with respect to the operating systems or not? It's a clear indication for us. Is a clear indication for us that Java software is what platform dependent, but Java programming language is what platform independent. JVM is what platform dependent. Java compiler is what platform dependent. Total Java software is what platform dependent. Don't get any confusion. It's very clear information now. Okay, now this is exactly the meaning of like what their platform independent programming language, and it's a structure, clear-cut structure here given clearly. Right, sir. Just two statements that I want to provide about this particular one. Try to recognize this point here clearly. What is the point here I'm telling to you? All of you observe carefully. All right, sir. Definition I've given about this platform independent programming language. If we compile Java program on Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate dot class files. Then the compiler will generate what there dot class files, where dot class files contains bytecode. Dot class files contains what code? You know, bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It's an intermediate code. It's an intermediate code. And it is not having, and it is not having any operating system representations, and it is not having any operating system representations, including what their Windows. Okay, it's okay. Now okay. Now execution points here. I'm asking there. Observe carefully. In the above context, to execute Java applications, that means to execute neutral bytecode, to execute bytecode, or to execute dot class file in any other operating system, then the bytecode must have, the local operating system representations. Local operating systems representations. Good. Now understand my point clearly. If you want to execute a dot class file, if you want to execute the dot class files in any other operating systems, then the bytecode must have the local operating system representations. Understand my point clearly? In this context, to execute Java program in multiple operating systems, Java has provided a set of converters to convert the neutral bytecode to the local operating system represented bytecode, that is native code. That is what their native code. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. That is what their native code. All right, sir. Now converters are provided here. But how converters are provided by Java? Java has provided the conversion mechanism and execution mechanism in a single device, in a single component called JVM. Called what there? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. In our syllabus, we have a separate topic, JVM architecture. There are almost 3 to 4 hours of time I'm going to spend on only JVM architecture. There I'm going to discuss more about JVM. But at present, just only the information, required information about our content here I'm giving there. More about this content we are going to discuss there in the future. Try to understand it clearly. Java has provided the conversion mechanism and execution mechanism in a single component called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. All right, sir. The main job of the JVM in Java is number one. Right, sir. What is this number one here? What is the point I'm telling you? Anything wrong? Right, sir. Good. Understand it clear. The main job of the JVM in Java is what there. First one is converting neutral byte code to the local or else maybe already I given that native code information, right? Have I given that? That is native code, right, sir. Now directly I want to use that one, byte code to the native code, right? Next one is what there. Second one is what there, executing the converted native code. That means conversion and execution, they are the two responsibilities of the JVM. Next one is what there, conclusion I'm telling there, Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is what their platform independent programming language because of what? Now tell me. JVMs. But JVM is a platform dependent component or platform dependent tool. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is a platform dependent component. Next one is note I am telling there, the complete Java software, the complete Java software, inside the bracket I'm telling there, Java compiler, comma, Java profiler, comma, Java documentator, comma, JVM, and so on and so on and so on. Java documentation tool, for example, it's a tool. Java doc is available, and so on and so on and so on, or and so on is what there is platform dependent. Is what there platform dependent. That's it. So this is that information here we have to understand. Then the respective diagram also we are given there about this. Now how Java is platform independent, the total process here are given. Just one time read the document, you are able to get much clarity about this entire concept here now. Right, sir? Now here I have one important interview question. Guys, all of you are following or not? Not clear? Now here I'm telling to you. I have one important interview question. What are the differences between .exe files and .class files? As I've seen already, these 2 points here. What are the differences between .exe files and .class files? You know already some of the points here. The very first one is what there. Understand it now. .exe files exist in the C and C++, whereas .class files exist in Java. Point number one. Number two, after this, .exe files contains directly executable code. Next one is after this, .class files dot class files contains bytecode. Contains what there? Bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. Is an intermediate code. It is an intermediate code. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. Right, observe carefully. Point number 3. Right, sir. What about this point number 3? No. .exe file is a platform dependent file. Am I right or not? It contains local operating system representations. Platform dependent one. .class file is a platform independent file. Is a platform independent file, but still it is not possible for execution. It is not available for execution, but it is independent of the operating system. That's okay, up to that. But is it possible to execute that in different operating systems directly? No, conversion is required. That conversion could be taken care by JVM. Okay, fine. This is another one here. Then fourth point, this fourth point is like what I'm telling there, general awareness only. Also carefully. .exe files are able to provide lesser security. .exe files are able to provide what there? Lesser security. Whereas .class files are able to provide more security. How, sir? How security is more with .class files? In two directions we can understand. Java is more secured programming language when compared with the C. So Java .class files are providing more security when compared with what their .exe. That is point number 1. Another point we can understand, majority of the viruses related softwares are provided in the form of .exe files. In general, viruses related softwares are provided in the form of what their .exe files. Possibilities are available, but no possibilities to provide viruses related softwares in the form of what? .class files. In general, .class files are not going to have any viruses related content. Why? Because when we are executing the Java program, JVM will detect that particular, like what there misformations in the bytecode. If any misformations are available in the bytecode, directly JVM will catch it. JVM will give you some information, some misformations are going on in the bytecode, not possible to execute our program. Bytecode verifier, a component is available inside the JVM. So even in this case also we can understand that like what their .class files are able to provide more security, .exe files are able to provide what their less security. Right, sir? Now this is the total content here what we understood about like what platform dependent and platform independent content. All right, sir. Now this topic is completed. The next one is like what their fourth one. Now fourth difference. No, the fourth difference is also be another content here. Observe carefully. Pointer variables are required in C and C++, but pointer variables are not existed in Java. Pointer variables are available in C and C++, but pointers are not available in Java. This topic here we have to understand it. So I will discuss about this particular topic on tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to understand this pointers content here, but up to platform dependent and platform independent, this discussion is completed here. Then pointers related topic and some other extra topics we are going to understand tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Saturday, right? Saturday, right? Still we have classes there. Even on Sunday also max I'm planning for the class. Why? Because on Monday I may not be available. On Monday I may take gap. Why? Because I may go outside of the city. So Sunday definitely I'm going to conduct the classes now. So we have to attend for it. And just it's okay. Up to that it's okay. But I need to talk about our schedule. Today, what about our schedule actually? Yesterday I given some schedule related details. 8:30 to 10 it's okay. You attended there. Then what next one? 11:30 to 1 we have to attend, right? But 1.5 hour gap, right? So that's why what I'm telling there. 10 to 11:30 also we have class. 11:30 to 1 also we have class today. Please recognize what I'm telling there. 10 to 11:30 I'm going to start object orientation topic. Independent topic is a completely fresh topic. Everybody will understand that content. Oops, object orientation. 11:30 to 1 today I'm going to start what there steps to prepare first application. Steps to prepare first application. How to install Java software, how to download Java software, all the things here I'm going to discuss. 8:30 to 10 o'clock class are going on. Maybe in the next 4 or 5 days of time, not more than that. Then after that, I will stop the class at 8:30. Directly, we have to come at what time there? 10 to 11:30 and 11:30 to 1. That's it. These are schedule related information, guys. Please recognize this now. It's mandatory for everybody. Why? Because no other option for it. No, as early as possible if you want to complete your course. Because of this much of schedule here, almost all 1 month of duration I'm able to reduce for your entire course. 1 month almost all I'm able to reduce. That's why I'm taking this particular option. So you're able to understand each and every point clearly. Don't worry. 10 to 11:30 I'll start what there objective orientation. 11:30 to 1 I'll start like what there directly. I'll start what there steps to prepare first application, right? So those who are attending in offline, just to take 10 minutes break and come back. I'll start object orientation topic. That's it. You may leave from class now, guys. And those who are right, sir. Today class is up to 1 p.m. right, guys? And one thing I'm telling to you, just 1 minute, guys. In the top of the document here, I'm giving to you. In the top of the document here, already the document here, top of the document, I'm going to give that links details to you. Just 1 minute. Those who are attending these online classes, no, for you links details already given in the already given that content here, the documents and all the things that the related details here are given in the Google Classroom. But still, if you are not aware about it, 10 o'clock class link here I'm going to provide to you guys. Now try to understand now. Yeah, please, I will give the 10 o'clock class link to all of you guys. In the webinar, I'm going to copy this right now here. Guys, I send this link in the webinar also. We can check it. That is one thing. Not only this, in the document today, I given the document here. Now I'm going to give that link details to you. Oops, at the rate 10 a.m. I given this content here. Okay, that link I'm giving there. Now next one is what there. First app development, first application development link at 11:30. Link also I'm going to provide there 11:30. Now try to use this. Right. 11:30 link చెప్పు sorry. నేను full stack, guys. Now first link is 10 to 11:30. Now the second link I'm providing to you 11:30 to 1. 11:30 link I'm providing even this one also. Try to take both the links, guys. Now here I'm going to give that link here even in the document. Please try to collect these links, guys. Okay, guys. Now try to take these two links now. I given already these two links now. Then try to join for these classes as per this one. Already given document and in the Google. That means in the this one also I given there. Please try to attend for the classes. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'll meet on might be at exactly within 10 minutes. I'll meet there. Thank you.